Welcome to the first season of Ancient Anecdotes powered by Listen Cub. This is your host, Ramanathan Iyer.
And this is Lalita Ramanathan.
It's 9 p.m. Lalita Ma. Are you ready to go to sleep? Is your homework done? Have you packed your books based on tomorrow's timetable?
Yes, Pa. Timetable done.
What about the shoes? Have you polished them?
Appa, why are we polishing the shoes every day? It gets dirty within the first 10 minutes of getting down from the school bus anyway.
That does not matter, Pa. The school has instructed you to come with polished shoes, no? Don't they know that it will become dirty when the children wear it and run all over the place? It is your duty to do certain things every single day, even if there doesn't seem to be any reason or use of doing it. One must definitely do one's duty. You know the funny thing? Indra got into serious trouble. First when he did not do his duty, and also when he did go through with his duty correctly.
How come, Pa? Then what's the point? He need not have done his duty, no? What happened?
Come, this will be your bedtime story today. The first part of this story tells what happens when we don't do our duty. The second is how we must still do our duty even knowing that it will end badly for us. The story starts in Amaravati. Amaravati is the capital city of the Devas, ruled by Indra. Indra had performed the Ashwamedha Yajna 100 times and was at the peak of his glory, with everyone praising him for his achievement. At the time, Brihaspati, his preceptor and guru, visited him. Indra was with his consort, Shachi Devi. Indra saw Brihaspati walk in, but he did not get up and pay his respects to Brihaspati. Even though this was a great lapse of awareness on Indra's part, Brihaspati was calm and without any anger. This was the first of the three mistakes Indra commits. Brihaspati foresaw Indra's future and the dire consequences of his disrespectful manner, so he quickly left the royal court. Indra realized his mistake immediately and regrets putting vainglory above paying respects to his guru. But what was done was done. Brihaspati had made himself invisible to Indra. Without Brihaspati to guide them, the Devas were now in a very sorry state. The Asuras got wind of the state the Devas were in. They rushed to Shukracharya, the guru of the Asuras, and fell at his feet. With Shukra's benevolent blessing, the Asuras launched an immediate attack on the distraught Devas and bested and overwhelmed them. As the Devas had no guru to lead them now, with a heavy heart and pierced limbs, Indra goes to Lord Brahma. After soundly chastising Indra for ill-treating Brihaspati, Brahma recommends another great sage, Vishwarupa, as an interim guru to lead the Devas.
Appa, what is interim? Why did the Devas need a replacement? And who is Vishwarupa?
What happens when a class has started but your teacher is not well and so is absent for the day?
A substitute teacher will come to handle the class.
Yes, I'm sure. But does the substitute teacher continue exactly from where your original teacher left off?
No, Pa. Usually she might just ask us to revise what we learned before.
In this case, imagine that Brahma is the principal. The original teacher Brihaspati is not absent due to health reasons but has left the class because the children misbehaved, and Brahma is suggesting a substitute teacher Vishwarupa temporarily. There are many versions as to who Vishwarupa is. Some say he is Vishwakarma's son. Some say Vishwakarma's son is actually Tvashta and Vishwarupa is Tvashta's son. According to the Bhagavata Purana, Vishwarupa agrees to be the guru for the Devas. Indra was really afraid of what might happen because of his bad behavior to Brihaspati. So Vishwarupa taught the Devas a beautiful mantra called as the Narayana Kavacham. This is a great shield that can protect the Devas from fear. So Indra listened to the great chant with utmost devotion. Can you chant this Phalashloka from the Kavacham? Ya idam shrunyat kale. Tell.
Shri Shukha Vacha Ya idam shrunyat kale Yodharayati chatritaha Tam namashyanti bhutani Muchyate sarvato bhayat Etam vidyam adhigato Vishwarupacha takratuhu Trailokya Lakshmim Bubuje विनिर्जित्य मृते सुरान्.
Nicely chanted, Pa. This is actually from the 6th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Pay attention to this point in the story. There are a lot of names after this, and they are all very significant. We are even going to come back to this point.
Okay, Pa.
Vishwarupa is said to have had 3 heads. He consumed a specific food from each head. He drank the Somarasa, the drink of the Devas, from one head, the Surarasa, the drink of the Asuras, from another head, and he consumed Anna, or the food consumed by humans, from his 3rd head. The 3 heads of Vishwarupa indicates his 3 duties. One towards his father's relatives, the Devas, his mother's relatives, the Asuras, and third to the humans. Vishwarupa had a soft corner for the Asuras. Grandad also used to say that in some Pandits' opinion, this was due to the wrong done to the Asuras during the Samudramantana, or the churning of the great milk ocean. Vishwarupa's mother, Rachana, was the great Prahalada's daughter. Some learned scholars therefore attribute Vishwarupa's favoritism to the Asuras to come from being possibly related to the Asuras from his mother's side. In any case, fact remains that Vishwarupa granted a portion of the benefits of the rituals and sacrifices he conducted to the Devas by telling the mantra loudly with one head. With the 2nd head, Vishwarupa secretly diverted some benefits to the Asuras and thus strengthened them. With the 3rd head, using a mild undertone, he sent some of the benefits even to the humans. This is the important point. Although appointed to be a guru for the Devas, Vishwarupa upholds his duty to the Devas, Asuras, and the humans. Indra discovered Vishwarupa's secret actions. Feeling threatened by the increasing strength of the Asuras and feeling betrayed by his own guru, Indra, in his fury and rage, beheads Vishwarupa, even without inquiring about the circumstances under which Vishwarupa had thus acted. Vishwarupa is a Brahmana, and he is doing his duty. That's the second mistake Indra commits after insulting Brihaspati. Can you tell this shloka? Savai barhishi devebhyo.
Savai barhishi devebhyo bhagam pratyaksham uchchakaihi adadat yasya pitaro devasa prashrayam nripa sa eva hi dadau bhagam paroksham asuran prati yajamano avahad bhagam matrisneha vasanugah taddeva helanam tasya dharmalikam sureshwarah alakshya tarasabhitas tachirshanyacchinnat prusha. This is also from the Bhagavata Purana, isn't it?
Yes, 6th canto, chapter 9. Grandad used to say that this same story was also recounted in another great work, the Devi Mahabhagavatam. In this Purana, the great Vishwarupa was beheaded by Indra while he was meditating. Coincidentally, this event is mentioned in the Devi Mahabhagavatam, also in the 6th canto, but in the 2nd chapter.
Wait, Pa. Are you telling me that Vishwarupa is killed in the same canto in both Bhagavata Purana and Devi Mahabhagavatam?
Correct. The death of Vishwarupa is mentioned in 2 different works, but the canto number 6 is common to both the works. What a great mystery, no? In the Devi Mahabhagavatam, the lines go like this. Iti vichintya pavi paramayudham prati mumocha muni tapasisthitam. The aftermath. Twashta, who was Vishwarupa's father, was enraged by the death of his son. Twashta therefore performed a sacrificial ritual to create a being that would be the nemesis and enemy of Indra. Thus was born Vritra, a great asura who wreaked havoc on the Deva army. None of the Deva's weapons had any effect on Vritra. As usual, Indra then runs and falls at Lord Narayana's feet as a very last resort. Lord Narayana says that only the bones of the great Maharishi Dadhichi can be used as a weapon to defeat Vritra. This was because Dadhichi's severe penances had made his body as strong as a diamond. So Lord Narayana advises Indra to approach Dadhichi and request for his bones. Dadhichi accepts to give up his life for Indra's cause, considering that the great order has come from Lord Narayana himself. Now look at this irony. Indra gets Dadhichi's bones and takes it to, you know who? Vishwakarma, the grandfather of Vritra himself. So, Tvashta created Vritra to defeat Indra. And to defeat the same Vritra, Indra asked Vritra's own grandfather to make the very weapon. Vritra knew that his destiny was to fight with Indra to avenge the death of his brother Vishwarupa. He also knew that his efforts are bound to fail. But Vritra went into battle in spite of knowing that he was going to die. Sounds familiar? Polishing the shoes, knowing that it is going to get dirty.
Appa, all this story is for polishing my shoes, is it?
Illappa, there is a greater purpose. Listen now. Look at the core value this story teaches. Even if you know that the result might be the exact opposite of your efforts, if it is your duty, you should still put in your very best efforts. By this awareness, Vritra gets elevated in character to a Brahmana. Back in the battle, Indra is unable to pierce the metallic skin of Vritra. Vritra reminds Indra about the great Narayana Kavacham which his own brother Vishwarupa had taught Indra. Vritra himself teaches Indra how to defeat him. I asked you to remember the shloka's Phalashruti in the beginning, isn't it?
Yes, Pa.
Indra reluctantly manages to vanquish Vritra. Unfortunately, Indra earns the terrible Brahmahatya dosha, the dosha of killing not one but two Brahmana brothers, Vishwarupa and Vritra. This result does not change even if Indra has bravely done his duty. A forced checkmate.
Did Indra manage to evade the dosha?
No, the dosha would not leave Indra. The Brahmahatya dosha appears and chases Indra in the form of an old woman clad in a red dress. Indra takes a small form and enters a lotus flower's stalk in the Manasarovara lake to hide from the dosha. So, the dosha waits on the branch of a nearby tree. Amaravati, meanwhile, is without a king. So the Devas and Shachi, the consort of Indra, approach Guru Brihaspati and say, O revered sage, knower of all, please help us save Indra from the terrible dosha and appoint him back on his rightful throne. Tara, the consort of Brihaspati, sees Shachi's plight and says, My lord, look at Shachi. She is as defenseless as the city Amaravati itself and yearns for her king. Please, please help her. Brihaspati agrees to the requests and reaches the Manasarovara lake with the Devas. He calls out to Indra, My dear Shaktra, come out of your hiding. Consider this your Guru's orders. Drop your fear and emerge.
Who's Shaktra, Pa?
Shaktra is another name for Indra, my dear. Indra comes out of hiding, putting his trust on his preceptor. But the Brahmahatya is still waiting for him and aims to attack him. Brihaspati prays to Lord Narayana for help. According to the Brahma Vaivarata Purana, a formless voice asks Brihaspati to teach Indra to invoke the Radhika Kavacham and protect himself. Drishtva Shaktro Mahabhitastam Guru Sharanam Yayo Brihaskatir Mahabhitah Sasmara Madhusudanam Etasmin Antare Tatra Vagbhabu Va Sharirani Swalpaksharacha Bahvartha Tam Sushrava Brihaspatihi Samsara Vijayam Nama Sarva Shubha Vinashanam Radhika Kavacham Dattva Shishyam Rakshadhuneticha Tada Tvat Kavacham Dattva Shishyaya Shishyavatsalah Chakara Bhasmasattancha Humkarenaiva Leelaya.
Appa, at the beginning itself you mentioned that Indra has the Narayana Kavacham. Why was that not enough to protect Indra from the dosha?
That is a very good question, Pa. Granddad used to tell that the Narayana Kavacham was only able to delay the dosha from affecting Indra, but only after invoking the great Radhika Kavacham, Indra gets rid of the dosha with a single humkara. Radhika represents the power of devotion. The story is yet another example of how the devotee's power is superior even to the Lord himself. From this story, we have seen that each of the main characters have done their duty one way or the other. Vishwarupa knew that he was only supposed to nurture the Devas, but Vishwarupa proceeds to share the sacrificial benefits to his maternal cousins the Asuras and even some to the human as well. He does this knowing that he would lose his life. When Indra asked him for his bones, Maharishi Dadhichi gave up his life because Lord Narayana ordered him to assist Indra. Vritra enters the battlefield knowing that the weapon that is going to kill him was forged by his own grandfather and he will be killed by Indra because the act was ordained by Lord Narayana himself. Vritra even encourages Indra to use the weapon correctly and do his duty. Knowing that Vritra had now become a devotee of Narayana, Indra still proceeds to complete his duty in the battlefield by using the Vajrayudham on the Asura.
Appa, isn't the whole story because Indra didn't do his duty?
As I told you in the beginning, dearest, it is both his not doing his duty as well as doing it. But what you need to know as a child is that our own senses or indriyas will trick us to swerve from the path of devotion, but we must uphold what our duty is. When we are children, our foremost duty is to study. We must celebrate this duty with full enthusiasm, knowing that our play hours might be reduced. We must still put in our duty above everything else.
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि. Appa, are there some current temples related to the story as well?
Yes, in Indore, the Indreshwar temple of Lord Shiva represents the culmination of the victory over the senses. The outer walls of the Sanctum Sanctorum has a huge depiction of Indra killing Vritrasura. The temple was said to have been restored by the Holkar king Subedar Malkar Rao Holkar in the year 1741. The lingam inside the temple, however, is said to date back to the 7th century CE. This is in India. The Indrapuri temple, located in Aceh, Indonesia, is said to have been built in the 9th or 10th century CE by the Sri Vijaya kings, whose empire spanned across Sumatra, Java, Borneo, and the Malay Peninsula. You know, there is also a lovely story as to why Brihaspati changed his mind about helping Indra and how this is related to another great place in South India called as Tirunageshwaram.
What? What is it?
Aren't you feeling sleepy? Go and sleep now. And then later, you can hear the story first on
Ancient Anecdotes.
on your favorite podcast streaming providers.
Tune in every week for a brand new episode.